Одну хвилиночку, да. Ну, розпочинати так?
Так, можна розпочинати.
Good day, IEEE members, speakers, friends. Welcome in the International Conference IT 2024. Dear participants of the 2024 IEEE International Conference on Trends in Information Theory. I am very glad to see you at continue. I am very glad to see you all at our conference of our IEEE Information Theory Society chapter. As you know, this is the 5th conference which is held under the IEEE Information Theory Society chapter. Organizers of the 5th conference are IEEE Ukraine section, IEEE Ukraine section Information Theory Society chapter. I am from National University of Lviv, Ukraine, State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection of Ukraine, the State Scientific and Research Institute of Cyber Security Technology and Information Protection of Ukraine. The conference is held within the framework of the IEEE Scientific Society of Ukraine. Now, IMM National University of Lviv is one of the oldest and most powerful universities in Ukraine. The scientific school of this university are now all over the world. Now, I am happy to give the floor to accreditation of the National Academy of Ukraine of Science, Ukraine, Professor, Doctor of Science, University Vice Rector for Scientific Board, Roman Vladishevsky.
Thank you. Dear participants of the 2024 IEEE First International Conference on Advanced Trends in Information Theory, for short ATIT, in the name of the Rectorate, I wish you welcome at the Ivan Franko National University of Lviv. The University of Lviv is one of the oldest in Ukraine, since it started as a Jesuit academy in the 17th century. In 1661, the King of Poland, young second Kazimierz, signed a charter granting the school the status of a university and the right to confer academic degrees. In these early days, some 500 students and 8 teachers were active at the faculties of law and theology. For more than a century, the university remained under the control of the Jesuit order. The students attended courses in logic, mathematics, astronomy, biology, meteorology, psychology, and ethics. A mathematical physics laboratory and an astronomical observatory were opened. At the end of the 18th century, Lviv became part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and the Emperor Joseph University in Lviv was inaugurated in 1784. Until the end of the 19th century, there were 3 faculties: law, philosophy, and theology, of which the faculty of law had the highest number of students. Over the decades, the number of students has steadily increased. New departments have been created and research teams have been formed. Many great people have studied and or taught at the university. In the 1920s, 30s, the university achieved considerable success thanks to the so-called Lviv School of Mathematics, with famous names such as Hugo Steinhaus and Stefan Banach. In 1953, the Faculty of Physics and Mathematics was divided into Mechanics and Mathematics and Physics. 3 years later, a group of students led by Professor Kostovsky started the first training in computational mathematics and programming. In 1958, the first electronic digital computer in Western Ukraine, Ural-1, was installed at the university and a calculation center was created. The faculty, today called Applied Mathematics and Informatics, trains specialists in applied mathematics, computer science, cybersecurity, informatics, and system analysis. In 2024, the Ivan Franko National University of Lviv has 19 faculties, subdivided into 141 departments. There are 1 college, 9 institutes, 7 museums, an astronomical observatory, a scientific library, and a botanic garden. 25,000 students follow courses, and the staff is composed of 1,900 professors and docents, and some 200 researchers. Our university is a classical university which combines teaching and research, maintains traditions, and promotes innovation. As an old university, it is our duty to preserve and present the inheritance from the past. As mentioned above, the university has several museums which are open to the public and are visited by numerous school classes. In 7 cases, particular items or collections have been declared National Heritage of Ukraine. The scientific library has its roots in the old Jesuit library, and the collection of more than 3 million volumes includes handwritten, old printed, and rare books of inestimable value. By the way, there is a big project to digitalize these treasures, and we also are preparing virtual museum visits. Parts of the equipment of the astronomical observatory provides important information about scientific research and astronomical observation in the 18th century. And the Botanic Garden, founded in 1852, exhibits an exceptionally rich plant collection. To this we can add a herbarium of great scientific value, collections of fossil plant and animal remains. The university also possesses a unique collection of 4,500 microorganism strains, of which some produce antibiotics and others absorb heavy metals. Another aim of the university is to develop the local culture and form our Ukrainian identity. Ukrainian philology has been taught at the university since 1848. At the same time, we want to join international communities, get familiar with other cultures, and become citizens of the world. The university teachers, at present we teach some more than 30 languages. We try to learn from the past, actively participate in the present, and prepare our students for the future. 2 fields with strong demand for innovation are informatics and new materials. The university is closely following the developments in the world, and each year several new directions of investigations are introduced. The Center for Collective Use of Scientific Equipment, Laboratory of Material Science of Intermetallic Compounds, possesses state-of-the-art scientific equipment, among which an electron microscope able to investigate the world at the nanometer scale, and researchers from other institutions are welcome there. Another popular center is the Center of Nano-Objects and Low Temperatures, and the most recent of them, a Center of 3D Technologies. The creation of the Western Ukrainian Research Center for European Studies shows that the efforts are not limited to natural sciences and technique. The university counts some 80 educational and scientific laboratories specialized in different fields. As one will expect in the 21st century, computer and data technology occupy a large place among the more than 20 innovative laboratories opened over the last 5 years. I will not enumerate all of them, but can mention the Digital Media Laboratory, the Laboratory of Artificial Intelligence, of Software Engineering, of Robotics, of Statistical data analysis of Internet of Things and founded it in 2024 the Laboratory of Digital Technologies in Oil and Gas Geology and the Laboratory of System Analysis. In order to further promote innovation, in 2022, the Ivan Franko University also inaugurated a science park dedicated to innovation and entrepreneurship, where graduates and collaborators can get assistance in creating startups and get into contact with potential sponsors. This is particularly important in Ukraine, where we are facing a huge task of reconstruction after the tragedies of the war. If you ask somebody what defines a modern society, he will certainly talk about smartphones, internet, computers. Almost everything can be digitalized, and astronomical amounts of data are continuously collected and stored. The fantastic communication tool that is the internet, without which we could already not imagine our lives, has also some dangerous aspects, such as propagation of fake news, dark net, cyber attacks. I wish you a nice conference with interesting presentations, and I am sure that the topics of discussion will not be lacking. Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава! Героям слава! And now the conference is held with the framework of the IEEE, Scientific Society of Ukraine, and now the opening speech of the conference is given by the head of IEEE Ukraine session, Evgeny Pichkarev. Please.
Alexander, do you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Sorry, internet connection in our time, very different. So, dear participants, guests, and volunteers, on behalf of IEEE Ukraine section as section past chair, I welcome you at a ITT conference and wish you a very fruitful conference and successful discussion. But on behalf of IEEE, it's very important to pay your attention that this year and in following years, IEEE in Ukraine will be especially focused on checking and ensuring the quality of the conferences, and in particular the quality of review process and conference proceedings. So the most important criteria are the level of English, the paper scope in connection to the IEEE and conference scopes, as well as scientific novelty and verification of results. So quality control is a selective tool and is carried out both internally at the section level and externally at the IEEE headquarters level. However, both levels are carried out in the same manner. I should remind you that according to IEEE rules, IEEE reserves the right to decline to put in IEEE Explore any papers that does not meet the quality requirements based on IEEE evaluation. So participants, I ask participants to pay attention that could be some possible delays based on quality controls. So there's some finalization after conference about decision about papers. So please be patient. I ask to conference participants to positively accept of possible delays in placing papers in IEEE library, as we are focused on the quality of papers and the best possible scientific content to the IEEE digital library. And at the same time, I encourage all of you to join review teams, to improve the review process, because the quality of the conference is our common issue. Once again, thank you to the conference volunteers, organizing committee. Very thank you to the host university, to Ivan Franko National University, and to other partners and colleagues and participants to participation. And I wish you all fruitful conference and successful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kim. And now, in April of this year, the State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection of Ukraine signed a memorandum of joint activities with the leading education institution, Ivan Franko National University of Lviv. We are glad that the result of this joint activity is already this international conference, IEEE IT 2024. Today, the participants of our scientific event will be graded by a person who made a lot of efforts in the formation of scientific school of Ukraine in the field of cryptography, reproductive systems, information protection, and cybersecurity. Today, Doctor of Technical Science Professor Alexander Poggi, Head of the State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection of Ukraine, is with us. The next word is given the Brigadier General Alexander Poggi. Please.
Thank you for representing. Thank you very much. First of all, I'm very grateful for inviting me to present the presentation of this conference and IEEE conference, and I would like to speak about a more interesting project who lead in IEEE, State Service Special Communication Information Protection of Ukraine, and this project interesting for academic society of Ukraine. First of all, IEEE responsible for cybersecurity, information government resources, cryptography, information security, technical information security, but today very important and very intensive develop a new normative base in cybersecurity field. First of all, I invite all of university and scientists develop different methodological material and methodics for provide cybersecurity framework from NIST. Cybersecurity framework version 2 today harmonized with our law, in Ukraine law, and today we according to this document we building organizational technical model of cyber protection in Ukraine. In my opinion, scientific collectives can develop a different methodological material and methodic how we realize cybersecurity requirement into this cybersecurity framework. The next interesting project, the biggest project, this realized in risk management framework from NIST. IEEE approved a new model of building system, information security system. We use approach, declaration approach. According to this approach, developer of information security system and own develop information security system and realize security requirement according security profile, and after this give IEEE special declaration. In this declaration, owner and this system give information that about realize security requirement. For this approach, very important develop requirement how realize different requirement in system, how realize methodic of assessment, and so on. And next interesting project for university. This is realized and integrated professional standards cybersecurity spheres into an educational program. IEEE developed 21 professional standards, building a national qualification centers, and today we need improve, harmonize professional standard with educational standard and become process of qualification our specialists different age from this is students, master degree, bachelor degree, and so on. In my opinion, this is most important and most interesting project from IEEE for academic society. And this conference must be provide this idea between engineering school, between academic school, and so on. And again, thank you very much for invite and for present short speech. I wish you fruitful discussion and fruitful presentation during this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now the following welcome speech is given the Vice Rector for scientific and pedagogical work and the informatization of the Ivan Lviv National University, one of the founders and members of the board of the public organization IEEE Laboratory, Vitaly Kukharsky. Please.
Dear colleagues, participants, guests, it's my great honor and privilege to give a short welcome speech at our Advanced Trends in Information Theory conference. I consider today's conference as an event where we gather the intersection of two very important fields, dynamic fields, information theory and with mathematical foundation of how we process, compress, transmit information, and digital transformation, which is reshaping industry today, daily life, and of course of education. Today, digital transformation are changing higher education significantly, driven by technological innovation, changing student expectation, and global challenges. Universities worldwide are in continuing improvement process of adopting innovative strategies to stay relevant and competitive in the digital era. Let me outline key global trends which shaping this transformation at the worldwide university and European education environment. Among them, flexible learning models, including hybrid learning, blended online learning models, smart campus initiatives using Internet of Things, digital twins technologies, digital skills, intelligence in education, lifelong learning ecosystem, sustainability through equity and accessibility. Also, we can say about immersive learning technologies, inclusion, equity and accessibility, data-driven decision-making. The university is trying to follow up on all these current trends using our strong scientific school and tradition. Of course, we're using internal resources, and we are trying to use all types of external global grants programs. Let me focus in my speech on project built on raised money. I will start from project with the title University Teachers Certification Center, Innovative Approach to Promotion Teaching Excellence, in the frame of Erasmus Plus grant in subdomain of capacity building in higher education. We had this project with specific objectives to modernize the formal system of university teachers' professional development and certification in Ukraine by establishing 9 independent centers of teacher excellence and introduction of professional university teacher certification programs with the new curriculum based on teacher excellence framework, including, of course, digital education, including MOOC and digital competences courses. The project was launched in 2021 and finalized at the end of last year. During the COVID time and full-scale Russia aggression invasion, this project played a crucial role in ensuring smooth shift to remote mode, both in terms of technology and digital skills, and of course in terms of skills of academic staff. During the life cycle of project, we conducted trainings for more than 2,000 employees, including those who are from another universities in Ukraine. Next important project for us on the line of keeping up with these trends, Smart PL, against in the frame of Erasmus Plus capacity building higher education program. The name of this project is Students' Personalized Learning Model based on the virtual learning environment of intellectual auditory learning without no limits. Aim of this project is to implement the European experience of student-centered learning, increase the role of students in ensuring the quality of higher education in Ukraine by introducing personal learning model based on virtual learning environment, and again, hybrid technologies. Creating extra opportunity to get a higher education for people with disabilities and specific academic needs through the inclusive education, which became during the war a crucial issue for Ukraine today. As a part of this project, we purchased unique equipment for our inclusive education resource center on Faculty of Pedagogy, including Braille printers, Braille displays, which is quite unique for Ukraine, and we are happy that we did it. We are currently in the process of developing a set of interactive inclusive courses for students for next piloting them in educational process. We started with this project at the end of 2022 and we are going to finish at the end of next year, on 2025. One more project with acronym MOVEX, also important on this line. We call this project Development of the Model and Common Information Space of Virtual Exchange Programs. It was in the frame of virtual exchange in higher education and YAS, Erasmus K Action 2 call. We started this project 1st of December 2022 with duration 36 months. Objectives of this project are creating an effective mechanism of supporting virtual exchange program, improving the quality of education, administrative and teaching staff to gain skills in working with mobile students and helping them master the skills of intercultural communication, digital skills, organizing effective interaction with students representatives of different cultures and different countries. One more objective for this project improves the area and form of cooperation and communication for all academics and administrative units inside of our Ukrainian universities. In simple terms, within the framework of this project, we are trying to use and develop the skills that European universities have acquired during the COVID time to organize virtual mobility using the hybrid mode. In fact, in consortium, which includes, as in previous projects, several universities from European Union, and in this project, 4 universities from Ukraine and 3 Georgian universities, we decided to focus to develop program using micro-credential. So we are trying to develop a virtual exchange program using this new approach, which use micro-credential. The next project I would like to tell you about is project with the same acronym NEXT, Digital Transformation for Supporting Next Generation Labor. It is a 3-year project supported European Commission with consortium of 4 European universities and 4 Ukrainian institutions. The goal of the project is to narrow the existing gap between the rapid pace of digital transformation and training of specialists from different fields, especially those that are not related to IT. Among the objectives of the next project are following: introduction information, extracurricular education on digital skills, soft skills, mental health, and digitalization of legal aspects. Training academic staff for using immersive learning technology, virtual mobility, virtual reality, metaverse for education. Developing innovative learning resources in line with the newest trend in digital technology. And establishing advanced laboratories in Ukrainian universities, including our university, for metaverse-like communication. To the output of the proposed project belongs the next study learning environment, which will contribute to creating a common repository of various learning resources. And second, the next collaboration virtual platform to improve communication skill in virtual workplace. Our university is also a member of consortium of Erasmus Capacity Building Higher Education Strand 2, which we call Structural Measure Project, which with special budget for Ukraine, more than 5 million euros. Maybe you know about this project, DigiUni project, Digital University Open Ukrainian Initiative. In consortium of this project, we have 14 institutions from Ukraine and 8 universities from European Union. Goal of the project to develop a highly effective digital education ecosystem which requires the creation of infrastructure necessary for distance and inclusive learning within the development of Ministry of Education of Science of Ukraine concept of digital transformation of educational and science in Ukraine. DigiUni is initiated to influence the chaotic process of digital transformation in education by creating an inclusive digital education ecosystem in Ukraine. Frankly speaking, having started this project, today we have even more house in terms of what our education ecosystem should look like. But there are still 3 years of work ahead, and I hope that the situation will improve inside of our consortium. And I have to say also about our unique project. We are first winner in Ukraine on the frame of Erasmus.
Excuse me, Mr. Kucharski. Reglement, a long time is the biggest problem of all conference.
Okay, so I will talk only about one very important past project and I will finish. Thank you. So, unique project named Artificial Intelligence for Cybersecurity, with acronym AI for CyberSec, and how we are going to, with this project, apply to large European Union competition with the result of this project. European competition of joint master program Erasmus Mundus with master degree program Artificial Intelligence for Cybersecurity. It's a very important project for us today. And we have more projects, and we have also internal project, but once again, according to the reglement, I have once welcome to the Advanced Trends and Information Theory Conference. May this event inspire new ideas, innovation, foster connection, and improve us shape the future together. This conference serves as a platform not only to explore the latest theoretical outcomes, but also bridge the gap between academic discovery and real-world application. let us seize this opportunity to learn, share and contribute to future information theory, and make this conference be another example of demonstration that we are standing, fighting and developing our country in the face of Russia's full-scale invasion and aggression. Our thanks and glory of military forces of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!
Героям слава! Thank you very much, Mr. Kucharski. Very complete report. Thank you very much. The next welcome address is given the director of the Institute of Physics and Technology of National Technical University of Ukraine, Ivan Sikorsky Polytechnical Institute, the head of the IEEE Ukraine section, Information Theory Society chapter, Doctor of Technical Science, Professor Alexey Novikov. Please.
Dear colleagues, and participants, on behalf of the IEEE Ukraine section Information Theory Society chapter, we are pleased to welcome you to the IEEE 5th International Conference on Advanced Transient Information Theory, which will be held now at the Van Franco National University in the beautiful and historic city of Lviv, Ukraine. We are grateful to the organizers of the conference, especially to leadership and staff of this wonderful university. Our conference is a flagship conference of the IEEE Ukrainian section Information Theory Society chapter. It provides a valuable platform for researchers and industry professionals to share the latest advances and trends in the field of information theory. This year the conference will be held in hybrid format, allowing for both in-person and virtual participation in our global community. The main goal of IEEE conference is to promote communication and collaboration among the members of the section, as well as welcome scientists and professionals from all over the world who wish to contribute and participate in this lively exchange of ideas. We wish you fruitful of rewarding experience this conference and invite you to take full advantage of the academic, professional and cultural opportunities that this event has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alexey. And now few words about the history of our association. Short presentation. In February 29, an initiative group of scientists from Kyiv University and other universities in Ukraine and Poland started work on a project to organize a professional information theory society within the IEEE Ukraine section. The purpose of the project was create IEEE Ukraine section create IEEE Ukraine section Society Chapter of Information Theory. As you know, IEEE is an institute of electronics engineers. IEEE is world leader in information technology, standards development, and professional science grants with headquarters in the New Jersey, USA. On this slide, you can see focus areas of the IEEE societies. Here on the slide, you can see the list subscription catalog IEEE technology focus area. For example, computers, service devices, systems, computer and processing engineering, field waves and electromagnetics, and other societies. The total number of IEEE societies is 28. 28. Each society is, for example, the focus each societies. Antennas and propagation society memberships focus antenna systems and electromagnetics wave propagation and scattering in complex media for wireless communication, sensing, medical, and other applications, and other focus. IEEE Information Theory Society, its focus processing, transmission, storage, and use of information, theoretical and applied aspects of coding, communication, and communication network. This is official focus of IEEE Information Theory Society section. In this slide, you can see other Ukraine societies. Ukraine section consists of certain technical chapters, which are present on these slides. Here you can see these certain technical chapters that are included in the IEEE Ukraine joint chapter. The focus of the International Conference of Advanced Science Information Theory included source and channel coding, communication theory and information systems, genome theory, cryptography and information security, networks, statistics, communication theory, and theory signals. The technical interest of conference is opposite of the theory and practice of information communication systems and for data encoding and compression data, information security, cyber security based on cryptography methods and cryptography systems, quantum systems and quantum cryptography, theoretical and practical issues of the information network, construction and operation. An interesting group of science from the university developed the society activity plan, and key event in 2024 is the IEEE International Conference Advanced Science in Information Theory. The conference has 3 tracks present on these slides. Track 1, source coding and data compression. Track 2, network information theory, and track 3, information theory and technology security. Thank you very much to all my colleagues for supporting and working together on the development of IEEE project. And now, in June of this year, the State Service of Special Communication and Information Protection of Ukraine signed the memorandum of joint activities with the leading educational institution of the field of information communication technologies, with the State University of the Information Communication Technology. Today, the participants of our scientific area will be greeted by the rector of the university, Professor Lviv is with us. A welcome speech is given by Vladimir Shulgar.
Dear participants, colleagues and guests, it is my great honor and pleasure that I welcome you to the 2024 IEEE International Conference on Advanced Information Theory. It is hosted by the Ivan Franko National University of Lviv in this historic Ukrainian city. As the rector of the State University of Information and Communication Technologies, I am proud to support the significance of this conference. It is a flagship event for the IEEE Information Theory Society section. As we meet here in Lviv, in this cultural and intellectual hub, let us take this opportunity to engage in relevant discussions and form new partnerships. Let the ideas exchanged these days contribute to solving global challenges through the application of information theory. I would like to extend my deep gratitude to the organizers who have worked hard to make this event possible. To all participants, I wish you a productive work. May the discussions help spark innovations that shape the future of information and communication technologies. Once again, welcome to the 2024 IEEE IT Conference. Together, let us make this event a memorable and effective experience. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful conference. Sincerely yours. Слава Україні!
Героям слава! Thank you very much, Mr. Rector. And now part 2 of the plenary session. Part 2 is technical part. And now the technical part of the plenary session on the report from each track will be present. And now the floor is given the Doctor of Technical Science, Professor, head of the track 1, Vladimir Baratnik, and his team. Please. Okay, now team may be with us, and next technical report is
Alexander Konstantinovich, 1 second please. I just have a little technical issues, but I'm here. If you let me.
okay.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, as I see, everybody can see my screen. It's great.
Please.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay, dear colleagues, I am pleased to present to you a report summarizing the key points of our research titled Method of Coding Video Data in the Spectral Parametric Space. The challenges of ensuring national cybersecurity and the stable functioning of critical infrastructure systems are closely linked to the effective organization of video information support. The cornerstone here is the timely provision of authorized user with essential and reliable information in the required volume and with adequate semantic content quality.
Excuse me, maybe next slide.
No, I had to cut very much, so the next slide will be little further.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's okay. To meet the needs of critical infrastructure operations, various video frame formats are employed, such as Full HD, 2K, 4K, etc. As such, the security of video resources is integral to the broader objectives of strengthening national defense. Key categories of concern in this context are accessibility and integrity. The foundation for the widespread use of video information interaction lies in the development and implementation of advanced information and communication systems. However, in crisis conditions and wartime, numerous threats emerge to the security of video resources. Threats to accessibility and integrity can also arise during the processing and transmitting of video resources via information infrastructure. These challenges stem from a conflict between increasing requirements for video detail and the limitation of standardized coding methods, which fail to ensure the necessary level of accessibility. This contradiction and the scientific problem derived from it is depicted on slide 2, which you all can see. A significant factor affecting accessibility is the time delay during the processing and transmission of video resources, primarily influenced by the bit volume. Therefore, to address the scientific problem, compression coding technologies are proposed. The compression ratio quantities the reduction in bit volume, while peak signal-to-noise ratio, also known as just PSNR, measures video resource integrity. Achieving the desired accessibility level can, however, result in critical degradation of integrity. Consequently, it is essential to balance bit volume reduction with the preservation of an adequate level of integrity. To advance compression coding technologies, we propose building on standardized concepts while considering uneven distributions in the saturation of detailed information and adapting coding processes to eliminate different types of redundancy. A method for identifying video frame regions through microsegment classification based on structural and statistical saturation levels to preserve the semantic integrity of video resource is illustrated on slide 3. Key functionalities of the proposed method include structuring the current segment, means we divide it into 4 microsegments. Second, quantifying structural statistical saturation. For this, we restructure microsegments from two-dimensional to a one-dimensional representation in a zigzag direction, establishing correction areas for required local permissible correction areas. And then we classify our microsegments into 3 classes using a quadratic measure classifier. Related quantitative evaluations to predefine significance thresholds for the first stage of the decision-making system. Then we perform differentiation of microsegments, and we'll come back for it. Calculating the count of each microsegment type using generalized filtering relation. You can see it as cascade differential rule. The second stage of the decision-making system identifies segments as having either significant or insignificant impacts on preserving the semantic integrity of video resources. Example of identified segments in different classes are shown on slide 6. Video frame processing is organized based on standardized platforms and adaptation to segment significance for preserving semantic integrity. A differentiated processing sequence is established factoring in segment typology based on semantic significance. For segments critical to semantic integrity, we avoid mechanisms that reduce psychovisual redundancy and utilize coding processes to eliminate other forms of redundancy without information losses. For segments that are non-critical to integrity, we prioritize reducing bit volume and transmissions delay by representing correction area values from each microsegment using only 6 bits in each byte, and uniformly allocating the 6 bit to length values of correction areas. Now let's compare our results with the standard ones. A comparison of the proposed and existing standardized coding methods, for example, JPEG, is presented on slide 7. Graphs illustrate that the bit volume reduction relative to the PSNR indicator. Results show that the proposed codec achieves an average of 17% additional bit volume reduction, enabling shorter transmission delays via communication network. Delay comparisons are illustrated as diagrams on slide 8 with a PSNR of 35 decibels. This analysis confirms the proposed method enhanced accessibility without compromising integrity requirements. Now let's come to conclusions. You can see the conclusions of the study are summarized on slide 9. Thank you for your attention. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. And now the floor is given the Doctor of Technical Science Professor.
Excuse me. Can we ask questions to the presentation?
Excuse me. Please question.
Thank you so much. So first, how does the video frame format, like Full HD, 2K, 4K, influence the assertion that ensuring the video resource security is part of the broader task of strengthening national defense?
Thank you for your question, Fedor. Larger video frame sizes allow for the transmission of more intricate details. Yeah, it's very hard work, you know. Which in turn provide richer and more precise information for decision making. The increased level of detail helps ensure that decisions are better aligned with the situation's actual requirements, such as identifying critical structure elements or detecting small yet significant objects.
Okay, thank you. And the second question, in your presentation there was a section I called "The form for the development of compression technologies should build on standardized framework while considering the uneven distribution of detailed separation and adapting the encoding process to eliminate various redundancies." So how do you determine what is a redundancy? Like what constitutes it? How do you decide which redundancies to eliminate and which to retain?
In this context, redundancy is defined as the difference between the total number of bits used to encode a message and the actual information content within the message. We reduce either psychovisual redundancy for segments deemed insignificant to semantic integrity or coding and structural redundancy for segments identified as critical. So we don't lose the information there.
Okay. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much. And next question, Evgeny Sichenko, please.
Yes, I have also a few questions. First of all, on slides 7 and 8, you show for us comparing with the JPEG. Are there any scenarios when JPEG would be more efficient than your codec, or these scenarios always like you show?
Yes, that's a very good question. Thank you. Yes, there are few cases when standard JPEG methods may be more effective. For example, if video resource contains few segments with significant impact on semantic integrity. For example, if you just shot a clear sky, in this case, JPEG would be better because our method has additional calculations to determine if there is well, critical for semantic integrity segments, which this video resource surely won't have. So we just lose our time here and do just what JPEG would do as well. So yeah, there are such cases, but well, you can tell that that's not a really common case. In generic case, if you have enough critical for semantic integrity segments, our method will show better than standard JPEG.
Okay, thanks. Also, as if I totally understood, you process uncompressed data, right?
Yes.
Is it possible to apply your method for compressed data, such as the MP4?
Yes, you can apply our method for already compressed data, such as MP4, but effectiveness of this approach will raise some questions because it is already compressed. Yes, there is no so much redundancy as it was before, so well, there is not much to work with, you know. So it won't really help as if we work on uncoded data first.
Okay, thanks. And the last question, are there any hardware requirements for using your codec?
This codec was specifically developed for use on UAVs, and well, UAVs usually use a microprocessor with clock speed on range of 400 from 400 to 500 megahertz. So that's our operation requirement, hardware requirement.
Thank you for your answers.
Thank you for your questions.
One moment, question.
Thank you very much. Don't know question. Thanks. And now the floor is given the Doctor of Technical Science, Professor, Track 2, Professor Vitaly Savchenko.
Excuse me, Alexander Konstantinovich, there is one more man who wants to ask a question in our room.
Excuse me, next question.
How are issues of ensuring national cybersecurity and the stable function of critical infrastructure system connected to effective video information support?
Okay, thank you for the question. Properly established video information support primarily enables remote, real-time access to data about the state of monitored objects, eliminating the need for on-site presence. This allows for timely and appropriate response during emergencies, optimizing the use of state resources. For example, in the event of damage to a critical infrastructure facility, you need to know whether there is a fire, its scale, and other pertinent details. This information determines whether to deploy fire crews, and if so, how many. Similarly, in the case of structural damage, you need to access the necessary equipment for clearing debris. Without detailed information, at the time of decision making, you risk deploying resources teamed blindly. And this could result in sending an insufficient number of personnel, leading to delays and requiring additional resources later, or deploying excessive personnel, wasting resources that would have been allocated elsewhere. Did it answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I think enough question. And next technical report. The track 2, the floor is given Dr. Technical Science Professor Vitaly Savchik, State University of the Information Communication Technology. Please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, dear participants of the conference. Today I would like to present the publication with topic Multi-Agent Technology for a Self-Organized Mesh Network based on a group of unmanned aerial vehicles. And today's speaker is Vitaly Savchenko, professor of the State University of Information and Communication Technologies from Kyiv, Ukraine. First, I would like to ask you, why are we talking so much about unmanned aerial vehicles today? Turning on TV, we can see dozens of domains for application for such devices, from toys for children to combat usage, which is perhaps the most relevant today. And for many of us, this is not just a picture on the screen, it's a reality for us and our work. So, a large number of tasks are performed by groups of unmanned aerial vehicles, which requires ensuring reliable communication both between individual members and the group, and with the ground control center. To transmit information in a group of unmanned aerial vehicles, it's necessary to build a reliable mesh network which must be self-organized, since external control in the group is not always possible. In such a network, each individual UAV must receive and transmit information to other UAVs at a given distance. Considering that UAVs are moving under the influence of terrain, weather conditions, radio electronics interference, the task of building effective algorithms for the deployment of self-organized mesh network is extremely actual. The simplest solution for the problem would be to build a network with a central coordinator who could see every element of the network and coordinate communication according to the group's cost. But this approach is not always possible, as the coordinator may not be able to see the entire network. Given that models with a central observer don't meet the conditions of the task, we developed a multi-agent approach for building a mesh network based on a group of UAVs. The purpose of this presentation is to explore a model of self-organized mesh network based on a multi-agent paradigm, where each agent can be considered as an autonomous entity and is capable to assess the situation and make appropriate decisions. To achieve this purpose, it's necessary to develop a general multi-agent network architecture and algorithms for the agent movement to the goal, maintaining connectivity and ensuring the avoidance of collisions. This presentation is a continuation of our research, which we presented 2 years ago, where they solved a similar problem with the centralized control. As before, the task of building mesh network is to go from the initial topology from figure A to the final topology in figure B. In the initial topology, all UAVs can transmit information to the base, and in the final topology, we must build a communication bridge from the target to the base. Using the graph theory, we have a set of network nodes that are set of edges and denote the possibility of communication. In our case, communication in one UAV with another is limited to a certain communication radius. For every UAV, the set of edges of the neighborhood graph depends on the current position of the UAV and changes with time, which determines that the neighborhood graph will also be a function of time. Thus, the topology of the mesh network during the movement was described. The essence of the multi-agent approach is that each UAV acting as an independent agent can independently determine the direction of movement based on knowledge of current situation, and the main direction of the agent's movement is towards the target. But at the same time, the agent should not move far away from other agents to ensure network connectivity. Also, the agent cannot approach others too close to avoid collisions. The deployment of algorithm assumes that the agent chooses the next step based on the estimate and the distance to the target in the distance matrix. At the same time, if earlier we assumed that some global observer sees the entire picture of the network, now we will consider only situations when the agent doesn't see the general picture and therefore cannot apply distribution optimization methods, for example, based on Voronoi diagrams. In order to ensure deployment, maintaining connectivity and avoidance collisions in such network, we use methods taking into account the autonomy and limited visibility of individual agents of the entire group. Each agent forms its own matrix of movement directions. The elements of such a matrix are possible variants of the coordinates of the points in which agent can move in the next step. The step of changing such coordinates can be chosen depending on the technical capabilities of the agent, mainly depending on the speed, which give it time to perform other actions, for example, check visibility of other agents and field of vision, the presence of communication, etc. However, to maintain the connectivity at each step, the agent must evaluate the possibility of transmitting the information to the base, forming its own connectivity matrix. With the start of movement, the number of agents which are in contact with the base will decrease, and then the question arises as to which of the agents will be really from every particular agent. To find this, we consider a subset of neighboring communication, which defines the sum number of agents currently visible to a particular agent. A particular agent establishes a connection with each of them and determines which of them has a connection to the base, which of the agent can be a relay to the base. If there is at least one such agent in subset, then an agent continues its movement toward the goal, taking the next step. If there is no such representatives, then the agent changes direction of movement to the reverse, independently establishing contact with the neighbor. Agent movement ceases when it becomes a repeater. Avoiding collisions between agents while moving is another important element of our model. For this, we use a repulsion function which makes it possible for the agent not to go closer than a certain distance. To assess the possibility of implementing such an approach, we created a software package that provided the agent with the above described capabilities. Other simulation parameters are shown on this slide. And to verify the truth of developed algorithms, we considered the movement of 10 agents in the field from the base to the target. Also, we set the communication radius to the minimal interaction radius for avoiding collisions. In figure A, we can see that the initial movement of all UAVs are concentrated close to the agent, which is associated with the base, and will stay here for all of the time. Each agent independently forms matrices of coordinates and distances to the target, and starts moving in such a way to minimize the distance to the target. After each step, agent will review their own connectivity matrices and decide how information will be transmitted to the base. In the next figures, we can see how agents recalculate connectivity matrices and change the topology of the mesh network. Every time, they look for the shortest way to transmit information to the base. The agent, which is determined by the repeater, remains in the given area or moves away in the direction of the target so as not to interrupt the communication with the base. The last figure completes the formation of the network topology. And from all of this, we can draw some conclusions. First, to build the effective mesh network, it's necessary to ensure its autonomous deployment, connectivity between network elements, and avoidance collisions during net deployment. The multi-agent approach assumes that each of the UAV is an independent entity and is able to assess the situation and move independently in a given direction. And the use of multi-agent approach provides for a group of UAVs in the mesh network elements of intelligent behavior similar to the behavior of groups of animals. Dear participants of the conference, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tyler. Please, question. No? Question. Okay. And now next technical report. The floor is given the Doctor of Technical Science, Professor Dmitry Landev, and our team, National Technical Institute, IEEE Kyiv. Please.
Moment, please. This device. Share the screen with Oleg Gumenyuk, please. I wait to share screen with Oleg Gumenyuk. Oleg Gumenyuk, connect. Goodbye. Technical problem. One. Zoom by Oleg Gumenyuk.
Oleg, are you online?
Ось виключений мікрофон, він не чує.
So you give 5 or several minutes. Dmitry Vladimirovich has some technical issues. He wants to say, we'll start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I begin. Good afternoon, estimate experience. I am Dmitry Vladimirovich, representative of the Rossikorsky Polytechnic Institute. Together with my PhD student Oleg Gumenyuk, I presented a report on the topic detection of fake news in cybersecurity through semantic networking. A report, a novel approach to analyzing of credibility of news report using semantic networking and large language model technologies. The proposed methodology enables effective identification of fake news by construction semantic networks of concept that reveal causal and associative connection between information units. The access of this study including mathematical formalization and network construction, evaluation of credibility of connection, identify anomalous links, and determine their overall reliability, trustfulness of news records. The use of LLMs in text analysis enable precise identification of key concepts on relationship enhancing the reliability of results. The research can be applied to improve system for detection, manipulation on fake news. And now my PhD student, Oleg Gumenyuk, will present the report. Oleg, please begin. Oleg.
Thank you. Yes. 1 second. Yes, do you see my presentation? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start. Hello everyone, my name is Oleg Gumenyuk, and today we will be talking about detection of fake news in cybersecurity through semantic networking. There and I worked on this project with only one goal in mind. We realized that cybersecurity as a discipline is under direct attack. We wanted to find a way to improve existing processes and create systems that will reliably detect and classify misinformation in news stream. Yes, the spread of disinformation has emerged as a major challenge in today's information landscape. Many people find it difficult to differentiate between authentic news and false information, resulting in the rapid circulation of fake content across social media. This inability to distinguish transparent sources of information often spreads to traditional media outlets. Effective methods for detecting disinformation are essential in all areas of communication. Now, phishing attacks are the most widespread threat and continue to increase in frequency and sophistication. Cybercrime continues to rise, with phishing and smishing attacks leading the way to over 300,000 incidents, followed by identity theft and extortion. These crimes collectively result in massive financial losses amounting to $4 billion annually. Fake news often serves as a catalyst in such crimes, amplifying their impact through misinformation and manipulation. Our goal is to tackle the issue of disinformation by developing an advanced methodology that integrates the power of large language models and semantic networks with virtual experts. Large language models facilitate the extraction and analysis of key concepts from news content, revealing patterns and relationships within the text. Semantic network then organizes these results into a structured graph of interconnected concepts, enabling the identification of anomalies and manipulated connections. This approach aims to provide a precise and automated framework for detecting disinformation, helping to uphold trust in the digital information ecosystem. Building our research objective, the proposed methodology transform insights from large language models into actionable analysis using semantic networks. These networks visualize and structurally represent information with nodes symbolizing abstracted concepts and ages, denoting their relationships. Their process involves four key steps. Identifying core concepts from the text, constructing the semantic network, relating the reliability of connection by assigning weights, detecting anomalies such as unreadable or manipulated links, for further examination. This framework bridges the gap between raw text analysis and actionable insights, offering a deeper understanding of this information patterns. Semantic networks are essential for modeling information derived from used content. In these networks, each node represents a key concept extracted from the text, while the edge depict the relationship between these concepts. These relationships can be either causal, showing direct influence, or associative, indicating broader connections, or contextual links. From a mathematical representative, a semantic network can be represented as a graph where nodes correspond to key concepts and edges define the relationships between them. This structured representation enables the logical organization of information, providing a foundation for detecting manipulated patterns within news reports. Here is an example of a semantic network created from a real news wrapper. Each box represents a concept such as ACA data or Donald Trump, while the arrows illustrate the relationships either causal or associative between these concepts. This visualization allows us to quickly identify clusters and patterns. For example, we observe connections suggesting political narratives such as the link between immigration statistics and negligent approach to immigration policy. The network highlights how misinformation propagates through inferred or unsupported relationships. The structure of semantic network can be mathematically represented using adjacency matrices, which capture the relationships between nodes in the network. For causal connections, this matrix assigns a value of 1 to indicate a direct influence from one concept to another, such as when a piece of fake news directly shapes public opinion. If no causal links exist, the value is 0. For associative connection, the matrix represents general or contextual relationships between concepts. A value of 1 indicates an associative, such as when two ideals frequency co-occur in news article, while a value of 0 indicates no associative. This formal representation enables computational analysis of the network, helping to uncover patterns and detect anomalies that may indicate manipulated or unreliability information. To assess the reliability of semantic network, we assign a weight to each connection. Reflection its credibility. Each weight is a value between 0 and 1, where 1 indicates a fully reliable connection and 0 represents an entirely unreliable one. The overall reliability of the network is determined by calculating the average weight of all connections. This is done by summing the weights of all connections and dividing by the total number of connections in the network. The result provides a single metric that represents the overall trustworthiness of the relationships within the network. This systematic approach enables us to evaluate the credibility of the information, offering insights into how reliable the news content appears based on the strength of its connections. Anomaly detection is a critical step in assessing the reliability of a semantic network. It allows us to identify connections that significantly deviate from the norm, potentially indicating manipulation or errors in the information. This is achieved by calculating the standard deviation, which quantifies how much the reliability of individual connections varies from the network's average reliability. Connections are flagged as anomalies if their reliability falls outside a defined range, specifically if it differs from the average by more than twice the standard deviation. Focusing on these anomalies enables us to isolate and examine the connections most likely to indicate inconsistencies or manipulative patterns, supporting a more comprehensive evaluation of the network's credibility. This example demonstrates how semantic network analysis can uncover manipulated patterns within semantic with semantically factual statements. Consider the headline, 13,000 murders ACA data. By deconstructing it We identify key concepts and connections. Concepts might include terms claim or ACA data, while the H's illustrate the relationships, both causal and associative, between these concepts. This slide presents a semantic map that details and emphasizes how data such as criminal convictions among immigrants is utilized within political narratives and public discourse. Misinterpretation of ECA data contribute to patent, fears, and association with crime, which are further exploited in political campaigns. This visualization not only clearly demonstrates these manipulative patterns, but also underscores the power of semantic networks in exposing the hidden structure of disinformation. As a result, the reliability of this information is assessed as low, emphasizing the critical role of analyzing causal and associative connection in defining disinformation. The role of virtual experts in this methodology is vital for informing the precision and depth of analysis. Formed by large language models, these virtual experts contribute in three key ways. First, they excel at extracting key connections from text and defining meaningful relationships between concepts that may not be immediately obvious. This ability allows us to uncover hidden patterns and interdependencies within the data. Second, they evaluate the reliability of these connections by assessing their factual accuracy, logical consistency, and temporary coherence. This multi-phased reliability check ensures that the identified links are both robust and credible. Finally, this farm approach leverages the perspective of multiple virtual experts to aggregate insights and minimize biases. By synthesizing diverse viewpoints, this collaborative method enhances decision-making accuracy and enhances the overall analysis framework. This approach offers several key advantages, making it highly effective in addressing the issue of disinformation. First is ensures high accuracy in detecting fake news by combining semantic networks with large language models. This integration allows for the precise identification of disinformation even in complex or nuanced situations. Second, it enhances the ability to uncover hidden manipulation by analyzing the logical and causal relationships within news content. The approach can identify subtle inconsistencies or illogical connections, revealing manipulative tactics that might otherwise remain undetected. Finally, the methodology is designed for scalability and automation, enabling the efficient processing of large volumes of data. This makes it ideal for real-time and large-scale application, ensuring that even extensive datasets can be analyzed swiftly and effectively. As we conclude, this study introduced a novel methodology for detecting fake news by leveraging semantic networks, large language models, and virtual experts. The approach offers several key advancements. Firstly, is facilitates the identification of essential concepts in new content and organizes them into semantic networks, capturing both causal and associative relationships. Secondly, it provides a framework for evaluating the reliability of these connections, pinpointing anomalies that may signal manipulation or disinformation. The significance of this work lies in its ability to enable precise detection of fake news through the integration of semantic analysis and large language models technology. Additionally, it offers automated tools capable of processing and monitoring vast amounts of data, paving the way for real-time application. Lastly, this methodology opens new opportunities for incorporating advanced semantic methods into information security systems, enhancing our ability to combat disinformation effectively. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Maybe question? No question?
One question. Interesting presentation, but the question is how we can get numerical data for applying your concept. Understand or no? How can we get initial numerical values data to use this presentation? But I didn't see any numbers, only analytical formula and words, but no.
Repeat please your question. Your question is cut for you don't see maybe some numerical data. You only see some formulas. Yes, it's your question.
Yes.
Now we don't. I would say. I check it's in big data sets. We checked. We write prompts and program it, and now we start program it to the some framework, and we check in I would say small piece of information. No, for maybe last week, and. We see this method is really work good, but we need more time for provide program and check it in biggest data set, because its methodology building of in logic of use large language models and quality of questions, quality of answers. Is only depends of our prompt structure. It's not easy to write good prompt structure with we don't have some servers and big for checking this method. Yes.
Thank you. Addition. We take into account the evaluation of virtual experts as well as virtual experts. This thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe next question. Okay. Thank you very much. I congratulate all colleagues on start with the conference. I am very sorry that I am not with my colleagues in Lviv at this time. But conference continue. Now the short coffee break after the parallel work of the track and 2 o'clock. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Attention, at 2 p.m. we will meet on track. Track 1 will be to 220 room. Track 2 will be in 270 room. Track 3 will be in 119 B room.
Thank you very much. It's position each track. Thank you very much, Mr. Professor Lviv. And now coffee break and breakfast.
Thank you very much.